So you want him to be you want CEO status.
Yes.
Okay, he can't clock in and clock out. Damn, beautiful.
Just my finances. Like, the budgeting, you see how I am. Nitpicking every little thing.
Never
I've
like that.
never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M. I just don't have it, like, to spend the liquid.
This is something that I think a lot of men are doing. We are sitting back and watching the world that women create burn down. This is a thing where I believe, let's say before feminism, whatever, when it was, 1940s, whatever. That was the world men created, in general. Now, whatever you see right now, however the status quo is, that is the world that women created, the matriarchy, okay? So, this is the thing where men are not battling with women. Men are not, I mean, yes, men making content, just talking, giving their opinions, but men aren't necessarily battling with women. What men are doing is, one, they're adapting to the new status quo that women have created. And two, men are just sitting back and watching, okay? Women suffer for their consequences. Women suffer the consequences of their actions and words. Just like what I showed, the whole Be Simone thing is like, yeah, she wants a man that's like an entrepreneur. The instability of being an entrepreneur, the hardship of being an entrepreneur. And then finding her life as she's struggling. I mean, it's probably just fake, but this is a thing where a lot of women don't realize. Your words, your actions, okay, let's see how it goes. You know, you want to be the strong, independent woman. Cool, let's see how it goes. You want to focus on your career and not prioritize finding a man. Let's see how it goes. You want to hold off and having kids and maybe have kids in your late 30s, early 40s. Cool, let's see how it goes. You want to say that men are ugly and there's no attractive men out there. Okay, fine, let's see how it goes. You want to be hypergamous. You want to go for top tier men. Okay, the top tier men, the top 20% of men, the men that are the most attractive, most charming, you know, probably six figures. Okay, let's see how it goes. Men aren't, I believe, men in general aren't complaining about it. The whole male loneliness epidemic shit, men weren't the one who's bringing it up or talking about it. Women are, not men. And that study is just someone just saying that men have less relationships. Okay, well, men are adapting. Men are not focusing on purely just relationships because honestly, it's a lose-lose thing. Men aren't getting much out of relationships with women nowadays. And women seem that they're not getting much out of relationships with men. So okay, let's see how it goes. Because here's the thing where one thing that men are adapting to or changing up, men are getting their passports. Men are exploring the world, seeing what other options are out there. Because the Western women aren't the only options. Although women can't really do that because, well, that's another conversation. But yeah, I think a lot of men are just sitting back and just watching women suffer, okay, for the actions and words that they spew out and do. Those are the consequences. Accountability. I always hate any narrative that wants to paint men in a negative light and then prop up women in a positive light. Two faces of a coin, okay? Men are bad, women are good. Kids have two parents. So why is the mom the only one who has to make all the sacrifices? What's sacrifice? By statistically research, 56% of women choose to, want to, and the ones who make the decision to be stay-at-home parents. Make the sacrifice. Who says it's a sacrifice? Who says women are making sacrifices? And this is a thing where by CDC, okay, CDC studies, men are having a more active roles in their kids' lives more than ever before. Here's the thing where this guy's going to explain it better than I could.
The fact of the matter is, studies show that black fathers are the most present in their kids' lives.
Really?
Go talk, man.
Amongst all demographics.
Wow.
On top of that, single fathers have a higher graduation rate and lower incarceration rate than single moms and dual family households combined. That is a fact.
They ain't gonna like that.
So
70% of black men, 60% of white men, 45% of Hispanic men more than ever before, okay, by the CDC, are more active in their children's lives. This is a thing where I hate trying to paint this narrative. More men than ever are cooking in their household. I'm not praising men. This is a thing where I'm not praising men for taking care of their family. No, I'm trying to stop this fucking propaganda that men are shit, women are gods, or women are angels. This is a thing where more men than ever are committed, are active in their household, active in their children's lives, more than ever. There are studies showing that there's a substantial increase in men actually, okay, doing what women have constantly always said they wanted to do. But guess what? Divorce rates are still high. Women are still leaving. So it's not because men are not doing shit and women making all the sacrifices that's why families are doing bad. Because here's the thing: if men are, like you said in the video, statistically, children in men single father households do better than, you know, children in single mother households. So I just really hate this narrative that they constantly want to paint men in a negative light to continue the propaganda that men ain't shit, that men don't do nothing for their children. Men raise better children overall, okay, statistically. Now I'm not saying women don't do. I'm not saying women aren't raising their children right. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that stop the propaganda that men ain't shit. Men are terrible fathers. Women make all the sacrifices. Women, it's always bad for women. That's fucking stupid. I hate that shit.
I'm marrying for love and money. I'm not picking one or the other. It's both or it's nothing. And please don't try to convince me that I can't have both, because I'm not going to change my mind.
I'm a big supporter of you do whatever you want with your life. But here's the thing where I'm also a big supporter of accountability. It is fine that a lot of women, I would say majority of women, want perfection. They want their life to be as perfect as possible. Fine. But please accept the consequences of that. When you cannot find perfection, understand that you wanted that. And since you can't find it, don't complain that men aren't perfect. Don't complain that you can't find a good man. Don't complain about now that you're in your late 30s, your 40s, stuff like that, and like, oh, men are this, men are that. Stop complaining. When you have these kind of standards, it is you who did it. It is you who can't find the man that fits your perfection. So really, it's not about men. It's about you. This is the problem I have. Like I said, I am a big supporter of women having whatever standards they want. I would not even complain a single thing. Not a single standards women have. The problem comes in that then no single man meets your standards, and then you blame the men. You blame men that can't meet your standards. The bars in hell, all this stuff. No, it is you. You're the only one who control your life. You're the only one who control your actions. You have these standards, and then you think that out there's perfect men out there, and then you don't realize that. You don't realize the delusion in that. You don't realize the insanity in that. Thinking that there's perfection out there, and thinking that you qualify for perfection. Because here's the thing: it's great for you to have whatever standards you want, and then you realize that maybe you don't meet that person's standards. The man that has the money, the man that you would fall in love with, yet he wouldn't fall in love with you because you don't meet his standards. We always neglect the other person's. That's one thing that no one talks about too. Yes, oh, this man's he has the money, he's good looking, he's tall, he's handsome, he's respectful, he's loving. But do you meet his standards? Most likely not, if you're not with him. Yet no women realize these kind of fundamental logic that one, you can have whatever standards you want, but please take accountability that if you can't meet those standards, please stay single then, right? She said all or nothing. All or nothing. And most women, I believe they have that. They're in that boat where it's all or nothing. If he's perfect, either he's perfect or he's not. Then I'm not going to do nothing. Great. But then don't complain that later on, oh, men, I can't find men. I can't da-da-da-da-da. There's always complaints, but you don't realize it's you. You're the problem. And then you also don't realize that, what do men want? Because you don't care. Women don't care what men want. They don't. And surprise, surprise, you don't care what men want. No wonder you can't meet the man you want.
Question for the men's. Do you believe that men and women are being purposefully divided by society? And if you believe this, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on what we could do to slow, prevent, reverse this from happening.
I do believe that we are being divided. I believe, one, feminism has turned into not about equality, but oppression, about power. Wanting to become the abusers and turning other people into victims, right? The ones that they think that turning women into the abusers, men into the victims. They want the power, right? And how culture is, societies nowadays, it's people don't want equality. People don't want to coexist. They want the power to become abusers. They want the power to have control over others. They want the power to make others think like them, make others accept them in however way they want, pretty much invade people's lives. And this is the thing. I think that is part of the division. That's part of, like, we are a society that is thriving on not seeing the bigger pictures, right? Where, let's say we focus on the Middle East instead of we focusing on our own individual problems. We are, focusing on our careers individually, right? Instead of making a family unit, Again, 2 people paying taxes is better than 1 whole family. I secretly, wild theory is that it is more beneficial for the higher ups or whatever that we have a 2 people paying system instead of like a family tax paying system, right? It's better to make women stay single and be consumers. Women stay single, men stay single, and just having them consume being consumers, paying individual taxes, buying things individually. I believe it's more beneficial to certain higher ups, right? Theories. And here's I think the sad part, we can't do nothing about it. I don't think we can do nothing about it. I think we are so divided, we are so misdirected that we won't change. We won't listen to other people, there's no changing it. The only thing that we have to do is suffer through it. People have to suffer through the consequences of their actions until they see that, wow, there's something wrong. We're gonna have to suffer through it, right? Birth rates are gonna go low. Men and women will be more divided. We're gonna think less about the prosperity of our own country. We care about other people. We're gonna have to suffer through it. That's how I see it panning out. That we are, as a nation, we're gonna suffer through the consequences of our actions and just have to deal with it. We have to make do with what's going on right now, like the creation of passport bros. Men going their own way, MGTOW, whatever. So yeah.
Hey guys, I just wanted to give my opinion on something because I feel like we're in the lazy man apocalypse. Like, men used to fight. They used to fight for their women, but now, why am I fighting? Like, why am I fighting? Why are females fighting now? Like, the roles have been switched and I just don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I don't want to deal with it. Like, I'm just done with it. Like, genuinely, I'm so confused. Like, me and my friends have been talking, like, literally, I feel like for the past couple months, especially, like, the men are gone. There's no men. Like, we're all boys. We're, like, I don't know what's going on, genuinely. But if there's any good ones left, please let me know. Bye, guys.
Yeah, and the women are girls. It's like, seriously, you want the roles to switch? You want to go back to the kitchen? It's like, really? It's like women chose these roles. Women want to be strong, independent, no need no man. Well, okay, you don't need no man, right? And men are acting accordingly. This is the thing where, because women's standards, right, where they're not needing a man for a financial gain or for provision, women are going for men on looks, right? A lot of women are going for men purely on looks. So the men that are going for looks, they are the prize. They have an influx of women, so why would they need to fight, right? Why would you fight when you have an abundance, right? It's like, why would a man need to fight for women when he could look through his phones and text upon text upon text upon text, calls of women wanting to be with him? Why? Okay? And here's the thing with a lot of women that I can never understand. That they pick and choose everything. They want the roles to reverse where men fight for women and stuff like that. Yet they don't understand the consequences of those actions, right? What are they fighting for? Women that don't need no man, women that are strong, independent, women that call men trash, women that will put men down, women that don't want, it's like, you say you don't need men, yet you say these kind of takes is absolute asinine in my opinion. Also, it's weird. Women this young, how do they even know how men are? Right? It's like, it fascinates me, right? That you see constantly these young women saying, oh, how men used to, you don't know how men used to be. And yet you also complain about men how they used to be, and then you also want men to be how they used to be. The men that you see around you are the men that you qualify for. The men that women of your generation and before you have created. So, enjoy the fruits of your labors. Also I want to say this, right? Just like the thing with the lazy thing. It just made me think about, men nowadays, if they can be, I don't know, close to certain women's standards, they want effort now. They require effort. Back in the day, in my opinion, women can be lazy. Men can't. Now, lazy. Men are controlling the amount of effort they put out. But they expect equal to more. Because again, men know that the burden of performance is on them. They're going to have to provide, plan. There's always expectations on men. So, if you want me to, take up these expectations, right? Fill these expectations. Well, what am I getting from it, right? Why would I do this? You better be something special, period.
You can't fix stupid. You can't heal toxic. Loving people harder doesn't make them love you back. And over-explaining yourself doesn't mean you'll be understood. The day you realize this, you'll be free.
I don't necessarily disagree, but here's the thing where I think you'd be more free if you realize that you can only control yourself. Do not get with people that you want to change. Do not get with people you expect them to change, right? Get with someone that you love who they are. You love who they are right now, right? It's not that, oh, I wish this person would change in a few years. No, stop that. You can only control yourself. Just like she said, you can't fix people, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't want to fix anybody. You shouldn't want to deal with people you have to fix. That's the thing, where you control yourself. That's it, not other people. So you should go for people that you love who they are. I think a lot of people are struggling because you know what? They get with people that, you know what, in their mindset, there are certain things about this person they want to change, but they're not gonna say nothing, hoping that eventually this person will change certain habits, certain things. Because here's the thing: where I watched a video of a woman complaining about, you know, going to work and then coming home and cooking for her husband, which I can understand that. But here's the thing: was that not the way it was before? Was the man, I mean, after you go into work, before you married him, after you go into work, was he cooking all the time, or were you still cooking? Because this is the thing: you knew what it was, you knew how it was. Hoping it would change is, in my opinion, the sign of insanity. Okay? Stop hoping the person that you chose will change. See them for who they are. Either accept them or stop wasting your time and leave them. This is the thing, like I said, I've seen a lot of women complain about how their marriages are now. But really, did you not live with the person before you married them? Did you not see their personality before you married them? Before you got into a relationship? Because I honestly believe either women ignore a lot of things or they don't vet men properly. And I think women do both, right? They do both. And that's a problem where I have, where a lot of people, they're leaving relationships because this is not how they want it, but they chose the person. So they knew how it would be. They just hoped that things would change. That's a sign of insanity. We need to stop babying women. We need to stop babying women. We need to stop thinking that women are like adult women, full adult women, okay? Women, I think, past the age of 18, they are not stupid. They're not stupid. Because we are infantilizing women, babying them, thinking that they can't make any rational decisions in their life. I mean, they can choose the school they go to, choose the major they want, choose the men they date. This is the thing where women aren't as helpless as we try to make them out to be. This is the thing where, now, the 1% that this is love, I doubt this falls into that 1%. Okay? I married the love of my life. Yeah, she's probably early 20s, 25. This man probably has 10 more years to live. And so this woman thinks that, okay, you know, I have enough life that I don't need to worry about this man. I love you forever and ever. His forever is probably 10 years. So I think she's more calculated and smart than this man. All he's thinking about is beauty. She's thinking about her future. Well, her financial future. I think she's wasting her youth on this man, but she's calculating finances. Her financial future is more important than her youthful energy or youthful whatever life. So this is the thing where we baby women too much, thinking that, oh my God, women are, you know, men like this just want to control women. They want to control women. They want women that they can't, whatever. No, I think more women than not, they're doing it for the bag. They know what they're doing. They chose it. In 2025, no one is forcing women to pick who they want to pick. Nobody. So women are choosing the men that they want to choose. Whether they're attracted to the men or not, it don't matter. Because there's a reason why women choose the men they choose. So I think we should stop thinking that women are innocent. We should stop and stop blaming men. Oh my God, he's such a, he's such a creep for going for a young woman. Really? Because I think she's such a manipulative, calculating 304 for going for an older man. Because she knows what she's doing. She knows that she has enough life to live where she doesn't need to worry about being with this man for that long. So I had this back and forth with a commenter, and it just got me thinking that I probably wanted to make a full video on it, where I'm talking about protection. That in today's day and age, women constantly talk about men's providing, provision, men, providing. But one thing that women constantly neglect or belittle or not think much of is protection. Because you see all these videos, and I have some of them, where other men, are creepy, are, they cross boundaries. They are very, just terrible men. And I said in those videos that one thing that women keep on forgetting is that the need of a man is protection. With a man around, with your man, with a man that you want, a man that you love, a man that, you want to see a future with, It's the notion that he can provide, protect you. Most of the time, not all the time, but having a man around, again, it's not like 100%, but having a man around helps to deter other men. It helps it. And then she said, "Oh, what are you protecting from other men?" Yeah, this is a thing where a lot of women seem to like live in a delusional world or doesn't live in reality. There isn't a city that you can live in that will be devoid of the opposite gender. There isn't. There isn't a city that you could live in that is devoid of, let's say, terrible people. There isn't. So since men live in reality, that's the thing where men think about, yes, there are good people and there are bad people. That's a fact of life. I said this, unless you, I don't know, live in the woods, live far away from civilization, then yes, you could be away from the opposite gender. But if you don't, you will 100% be near the opposite gender. You will 100% be near potentially harmful people. And one of the things that women neglect or forget or belittle or just don't think much of is that the need of a man to protect. Now, she said, yeah, why can't a woman have a gun? I agree. I'm all for women protecting themselves with a gun too. But we also think about this. In every situation, let's say a man being a creep, like he's hollering at you, he's on a bus or whatever, because I have a video of that. You're not going to wave around a gun. You're not going to wave around a gun. You're not going to show off a gun so you can scare the guy. It's like, you're not going to potentially fire a gun, right? In a, I don't know, a public bus or any public area so you can scare away a guy or protect yourself. Not necessarily. Now you could, but I don't know. So with a man around, there's a higher likelihood, in my opinion, that it wouldn't even get that far. It would deter most men. Not all men, like I said, but it would deter most men. So, and like I said, I promote women caring. I promote women protecting themselves. But here's the thing: most people, it's about prevention. You're not gonna being in stressful situations. It's not gonna be easy to you be calm enough to actually use the gun, to calm enough or whatever to logically, I don't know, use the gun to deter somebody. But again, I'm all for women carrying, but predominantly women aren't usually the ones to have guns. I think the statistic was about 25% of the population of women have weapons or carry, and I think about 40 plus men have carry weapons or own a gun. So again, not many people in general has a gun, and definitely not many women have a gun. So this is a thing where women like to think in hopium, in a delusion, in a dream world, where, okay, let me just protect myself with a gun. It's like, this is the thing. It's like, it's not, no, not everyone is gonna be a John Wick, okay? And I don't want a man because he's protecting me from other terrible men. What? That doesn't even make sense. Because unless you don't like men at all, which is fine, most women will be in relationships. So one of the important things is that to have that man be a protector for you. And this is the thing where she also said that, men aren't really protectors. They're only there to protect their what's theirs. They don't protect every woman. Here's the stupidity of that idea where, oh yeah, men don't protect everyone. Men only protect what's theirs. Here's the insanity where it doesn't benefit everyone or anyone from being a hero. It doesn't. If a stranger, okay, protects this woman, a stranger herself, and then he dies from it, now what? Is she going to dedicate her life to his family? Dedicate her life to the memory? It's like, yes, all humans, we have a bit of selfishness in it, but it's that part of that selfishness is the ability for us to survive, the ability to because now, if this man dies for protecting a stranger, who's going to protect his family? Is that stranger, that woman, now going to protect his family or protect what's his? It's like that's the thing a lot of women seem to neglect. And here's the thing: men do protect women in general or people in general, police, military, all that stuff. Those are people who protect everyone, and predominantly they're men. But you also have to think logically. Yes, not every man is going to protect everyone because it doesn't make sense. If you lose your life for protecting a random stranger, what's going to happen now, right? What's going to happen to your family or your responsibility? No one else is going to take it up, right? And I had a story a while back where a man with his wife and child jump in to protect a woman that was getting beat up by her boyfriend. He get beat up by a boyfriend. And both of them left, right? They stopped, both of them left, came back, killed that man. Now protecting a stranger, a woman, he's left a woman widowed and a child fatherless. That stranger woman, right? He's not gonna help and take care of his family. So now what? That's the thing where a lot of women are living in a delusional world. They're living in like a make-believe, beautiful fantasy that, oh, let's be magical. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna do a little piece
thing.
No, I want to share it with people. Cheers. What do you think, boy or girl? Girl, I want a girl.
I don't know.
You ready?
Yeah, you ready?
3. Ready?
Ready?
3, 2. Wait, close your eyes. Right here. 3, 2.
Close my eyes or what?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let me open them.
You ready?
You pull it out yet?
Pull it out, pull it out.
Open them.
Brother, run. Run. I mean, like, seriously. Unbelievable. It's like, are you kidding me? It's your child. You should be happy. You should be happy if you get a healthy child. Caring about the gender? What are you, communist China? It's like, are you kidding me? I swear to God, so many women have mental disorders. They do. So many women. It's not all women, but a lot of women have really issues that they need to handle before they get into a relationship, before they can become a parent. I swear, this is, now imagine this, where I believe, with that kind of reaction, she's going to resent the boy. She's going to resent the boy. I think, maybe dangerously, she's going to mistreat the boy. And you know what, this is the thing where, I think this is happening a lot, where you see with the whole trans thing, or like how, single mothers, a lot of times, are very, making their sons be very feminine, right? Wanting them to wear dresses, wanting them to put on makeup, saying that, oh, they must be in a different body, right? Indoctrinating them, okay? Trying to change up their mindset, thinking that you're trying to push, different kind of, push them to be more tolerant. But in actuality, you're trying to change them because you didn't want a boy, you wanted a girl. So what you would do is trying to effeminate them, right? Make them more feminine. I believe that you're seeing this more and more happening with like mothers, where they're trying to push their boys to be more feminine in nature, to hopefully change these boys into little girls. I swear, it is tiring. It is. I honestly believe that a lot of problems we're seeing in society right now, or the results that we're seeing, right, how society is right now, it is the result of women being in power, essentially. Women are basically in power socially. I think women are more than ever in power in relationships and marriages. So I honestly think that they're ruining things. They're destroying young boys. It's just sad. And imagine, this is the thing where it didn't get as much outrage. I don't know. Maybe I didn't look at the comments like that. But imagine if that was a man who did that. If it was a girl and he got upset. Imagine that, the outrage, the social outrage. And we think it's acceptable or okay, a woman getting outraged that she has a son. I don't know, it's just, we have some messed up people in this world. We really do. Some mentally messed up people.
Oh, we ignite 'em. Girl, quit playing it. Just friends, what are you saying? Look right in my eyes. First love, broke my heart for the first time. Oh, we ignite 'em. Girl, quit playing it. Just friends, what are you saying? Look right in my eyes.
I want to point out that she looks like an average woman, okay, in my personal opinion, okay? I mean, people may say she's hot, maybe she's whatever, but I believe, balance of probability, on average, most men, right, would perceive that she's average. Not bad looking, but average, But I believe, and this is the thing where it's my FYP, where I'm constantly seeing women saying how ugly men are, right? There's only ugly men out there. There's so many ugly men out there, chop men. You hear these insults. Oh my God, I see so many gorgeous women with ugly men, and you see, even in my comment section, women like, oh, you're fat. They just insult you being fat. But what I showed her in her comment section is that people are saying they're hyping her up, how beautiful she is, how she looks amazing, just hyping her up, not bothering if she's fat. But if it's a man, women will criticize, insult if men are bigger, about the same size as her. Women will criticize that, will insult that. And this is why I don't believe when women say, when women are saying, I see so many beautiful women out there, or they're saying, I've seen beautiful women with ugly men. Because here's the thing, one, women don't, in general, majority of women don't date other women. So their opinions of women's beauty is very, there's no basis to it, because you're not attracted, you're not going after these beautiful, gorgeous women. Okay, and this is the thing, I think this is a sisterhood thing, where women predominantly will uplift other women regardless of the situation. Doesn't matter if she's actually ugly or actually a bad person or whatever. Women would usually uplift other women, give other women validation, support other women regardless of the situation. I've seen women say that I support only women, I don't care about men. Well, then I'm not surprised that if you find a woman, let's say 5 level, right? Attraction level 5. You would pop her up, say she's a 10. If you see a man equally, right, as attractive, right, a 5 level, you would actually put him down, right? Insult him, say that he's ugly, pushing him down below average. And I think that's the mentality of women. This is why, it's hard to judge women's perspective, because I think it's dishonest. It's very biased. One, like I said, they don't date other women, so I don't know. Your thought of beauty is very. It's not based on if you will go for them or not. And women they naturally validate, naturally sympathetic towards other women, but they wouldn't have the same feelings towards men of equal standings. So yeah, I just want to put up, because I've been seeing that a lot on my FYP. Women just insulting men's looks, and I'm just like, wow, the hypocrisy in that. Because a man equal to her, right, as big as her, all he needs to do is probably just wear something nice. But women would insult said man because he's not good looking, he's average, or he's fat. But a woman of equal standing, they're saying she's gorgeous, she's a 10, she's amazing, all this stuff. It's like, it's no different than when when the world was hyping up Lizzo when she was big, saying she's a 10. So yeah.
I am not trying to be controversial nor a hater when I say that. I genuinely want to know the science behind the pretty girlfriend, ugly boyfriend phenomenon. Oh, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Shut up. Listen, it is like, oh gosh, listen, everyone knows this is a thing. Okay, everyone knows it. So my question is it truly the fact that men go for looks while women go for personality? Like, I know that's what we all say, like that's a speculation, but have we done any surveys? I want to know, which will lead me to my next question. Why don't we as women start prioritizing looks more? Personality is important, but your man couldn't care if you have the personality of a pencil. Would you give him a chance? This is what I'm talking about. I am not saying that personality is not important. That should be your primary focus. But I think that we need to start being more picky about looks. I do. Because would your man date you if you look like his twin sister? Okay, wait. He would not date his sister, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you were ugly, would your man give you a chance?
Here's the foolishness in how women think. Women confuse men a lot. They don't really understand how men think. This is a thing where men do prioritize personality. They do. Now, they confuse because men will sleep with, right? Men would sleep with pretty much any women, and they would love to sleep with attractive women. But a lot of men would tell you that he would trade down on looks for personality. For a woman that will give him peace, for a woman that will be feminine, submissive, just friendly, just loving, caring, right? Personality. Plenty of men say that. And this is a thing where a lot of women are, I honestly think that women do prioritize looks a lot. I think there was a study a while back where they try to see if finances and looks, what do you prioritize more? What do you, what's your concern more? And it showed that actually a lot of men actually cared about finances more from a woman than looks, while women actually care about looks more than finances from a man. Now, it's not like a crazy degree, but it shows you the disparity where women do care about looks and men do care about other things besides looks. And this is the thing where I'm all for it. I'm the type of person who's like, you know what, I'll sit back and watch it burn, or watch women go about follow their ideology. Because here's the thing where dating statistics have shown that women are only attracted to or go for the top 20% of men. So let's play it out. Let's play it out. If that was out in the real world, that mindset where women are now prioritizing looks, I think a lot of women would be sharing men more than they are now, because a lot of women are essentially attracted to the same type of men. Now, I'm not saying all women. I'm saying just a lot of women are attracted to the same type of men. So who would that benefit? Definitely wouldn't benefit women. It will only benefit the top 20% of men. And here's the thing where, like I said, go for it. I am all fine women following their ideology because, in my personal opinion, after everything, after feminism, women have created. Women have been in control since the start of feminism until now. Everything you see, how the dating market is, how society is right now, I believe women are in control. Women have shaped it. Whether they wanted the outcomes they got, it didn't matter, right? Women have puppeteered the changes. So the results are the results, but it isn't men who change things up. It's women. So that's what they get. So I'm all for it. You want to prioritize looks? Cool.
My 14-year-old is officially pregnant and having a child. Before you guys come for me, she has been in a relationship since she was 12 with the same guy. He is also 14, okay? So I don't want to hear any of the weird stuff, okay? So at first I was a little taken back when she said that her and her boyfriend were trying for a baby because she's 14. And I was like, girl, like, you can't handle a baby at that age. But she knows I really love puppies and I really love kids. And we talked about it and we sat down. She said she thinks she's ready and that she is mature and she's a lot more mature than the kids in her class. That she's been with him for 2 years and that they think that they're ready. And I brought up the concern like, hey, you're in school. How are you supposed to go to school? And she said, well, Mom, you love kids. You can watch my baby during the day. And I sat around thinking and I got lonely one night and I realized low key, that's a great idea. So I gave her the green light. I told her if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But, like, I'll help you every step of the way. And within 2-3 weeks after telling her that, we just got the positive test today. And I'm about to take her to the doctor so that we can confirm it. But I'm excited. I'm about to be a grandma, you guys.
I want to say this, right? I'm no champion of black men. I'm a nobody. And I've benefited from, women and black women in particular gaining outside their races. But this is a thing where I do care about men, good men in general. It's like, because just like the whole Oxford study thing, and this is the thing where I don't care who you want to date. I don't care, who women want to date, their preferences, their standards. You can date whoever you want. But what I find distasteful is that on your way out, right? On your way out of dating dating other races, you will kick the men down, right? You will shit on the men. You shit on the men of your own race. It's like, why? That's just why. You're showing that you are, in this case, black men's biggest hater. And why? This is the thing where a lot of women need to understand. It is not the race of a man that makes him a bad man to date. Or, I don't know, your bad experience with that said man. It's not the race of a man. One, it's the man you chose. Because it's not like not like one black woman has dated, most black men in the world. No. So because that's illogical. That shit don't happen. It's just the man you chose was wrong, regardless of his skin tone. Because if you look at that video, a lot of those men look like average men. Some of them might be below average to a lot of women. So I would assume that these women, mainly, maybe they found them attractive or not, but mainly chose these men on personality. You could do the same thing with black men. Now, like I said, I'm not pushing black women to date black men. I mean, you do it regardless. I'm not pushing anyone to do nothing, but I'm showing you perspective. Maybe how you're going about dating is wrong. Maybe you need to change your perspective. It's not the men that is the problem, okay? It's not the black men are the problem. It's that who you are choosing is the problem. Who you're choosing is why you're failing at dating or why you have had, a bad history of dating. Maybe you just chose bad men. And it just so happened that some of those bad men were black. And then maybe you went outside your race and chose a little differently. Boom. This is the thing where I had another video where a woman got she was saying geeky men, okay? Geeky men were sending her nasty DMs or whatever, terrible things. So she said that, I don't want to date geeky men. It's not about being a geek. Right? It's not about being a geek that makes them terrible. It's just that it's like women have to realize there are good men and there are bad men in everything. No matter the race, no matter the hobby, no matter the age demographic, there are good and bad men in everything. It just so happens it's about who you choose, who you interact with. That's it. I know plenty of good black men. Well, women aren't clamoring to date them. I know plenty of good geeky men. Well, women aren't claiming to date them. But sadly, maybe you have interacted with bad black men, bad geeky men. Well, okay, but it's not about, oh, it's not because he was a geek, that's why he's terrible. It's not because he's black, that's why he's terrible. And that's something that a lot of women need to realize. Stop it with this, like, really idiotic point of view, okay? And I just think that this is distasteful because, again, it just shows you that you are black men's biggest hater. And why? It doesn't make sense. It's needless. You don't need to shit on black men on your way out. My opinion, that's it.
Has anyone had luck getting approached in the wild by guys? Because I'm getting approached like 2 to 3 times a month, I would say. Like whether I'm at the gym or a coffee shop or a grocery store. And the majority of the time, these guys will come up and ask me out. They'll be shaking, like I'll see their hand shaking. And I'll be like really nice. If they're like friendly, I don't mind giving them my number. And most of the time, they don't even text. Like they'll approach you, they'll go through all this stuff to be like a public display of like asking you out. And then they like don't text you, or they'll say like, hi. And then you say, hi, how are you? And they don't follow up. But then on the apps, it's like a worse story where you're getting like terrible messages from guys pretty often. And I don't know, like what's going on? I'm genuinely confused.
This is a thing where a lot of women don't realize that they have made dating a traumatizing experience for a lot of men. They have made dating a terrible experience for a lot of men. One, the whole approaching, not many men are approaching, is that women make men out to be creeps for approaching. Women make it a hostile environment for men to be approaching. So, men just don't do it. Very few men do, okay? So, only the men that, are trying to get over their fears, or the men that, don't give a shit. The bad men that never gave a shit to begin with. So, those are the ones that do approach, the ones that are trying to get over their fears, or, the ones that don't care. Second, this is a thing where she's saying, oh, why don't men text when they get numbers? Because this is the thing. A lot of men know that, a lot of women are just trying to be nice, or I've heard some women say that they just give their numbers because they are feared of men. So, you know what, men just, it's more, I know some men just do it just to help themselves get over the fear of, approaching and talking to women. They don't have the purpose of actually texting because they know the women aren't really interested. They know, a lot of these men know the women aren't really interested. It wouldn't really go nowhere. So these men just, it's more for the purpose of just for himself, right? For him to get confidence and, get over the fear. So that is why a lot of men in the wild, if they get your number, they probably don't text because they know it's probably a fake number. 2, they know that you probably just give it because you fear them, or you just want to get them, get rid of them. So a lot of men are just doing it just to, get over the fear. Second, the men that let's say, one just freely text online. Well, there's no fear for that, right? If the rejection, you barely feel it online. Second, the men that say terrible things online. Well, that's just how it is, right? There's always people, regardless men or women, to say shitty things online. That's just how it is. But I just want to say that I believe how the dating landscape is right now, sadly, it is because of women. All of women's actions and words, well, it has affected men, and it has changed the landscape, right? After feminism, I think everything you see right now, it is the result of women's actions and words. So whatever complaint women may have, well, that is the result. That you may not have wanted it, but that is the result of your actions and words. So I don't know, just have to deal with it. Oh, I also included the comments because that was funny. That's the thing that a lot of men think, right? You say, oh, I love nervous guys. No, you don't. You love hot nervous guys. You like nervous guys that you find attractive. You don't like the majority of nervous, awkward men. You don't. Men know this. So, yeah, I hate it when women say, oh, I love awkward guys. I love geeky guys. No, you don't. You don't love those guys. You love attractive, awkward guys. You love attractive, geeky guys. You don't love the majority of geeky, awkward, or whatever nervous guys. You don't. So that's why I wanted to include that.
We listen and we don't judge. I started fucking at 15 and had a baby by 16. Definitely a 0 out of 10. Would not recommend.
Who would recommend that? Who would recommend that? This is the thing where I want to say this, where this whole ideology of being young and dumb. This is a thing where we take away consequences from kids. We do. But I think there's a point where it's a detriment. Because then we have the excuse of being young and dumb. Because I believe most kids at a certain age, you can understand right from wrong. You may not understand the deep meanings of it, the nuance of it, but you understand right from wrong. You should understand, you shouldn't be having sex. Having sex leads to children. Having sex leads to children. You should understand that shit. this is the thing where I believe, in my personal opinion, all the advice, don't have kids before you, out of wedlock, right? Have kids, be mindful with who you have kids with. Be mindful with who you give your bodies to. Don't just give your body to any guy out there. Pick wisely, pick better. It's like, I don't know, all the advice you could have, right? Don't be a single mom, all these things, all the advice you've had. I've heard it when I was a kid. I believe most kids have heard of it. Most kids have seen, right? The example of it, usually they're baby mom, they're single mothers, right? Their mothers was a single mother, all this shit. They've seen it. And yet they still do it regardless. So they use the excuse that being young and dumb. But I honestly believe it's a really stupid excuse. I honestly believe it really doesn't qualify. It doesn't it doesn't make sense for most things. Especially the heinous shit, or especially the things that you should have known. You should have known. I never liked the whole argument being young and dumb. I really don't. It's more, what is it? Maybe young and don't care. That's it. It's you being young and you don't care. You don't care about the consequences. It doesn't matter to you. You know what? It's not right. You know it's not right. But you do it regardless because you don't care. You don't care about the consequences. So I'd rather go about it that, that's not a good excuse. You are going to suffer the consequences. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that mindset, because this is a thing where we take away accountability so young, and I get it. As parents, we don't want our kids to suffer consequences, but I think it's a good lesson to learn. I really do. Also, in particular, that excuse for women, they use it a lot. Of why they're baby moms, or why they pick terrible men. I think it's just another way to shirk accountability. So yeah, I just think that we shouldn't be fine with being young and dumb as an actual excuse. The whole frontal lobe shit. It's just more excuses for letting people, make bad decisions without caring, without suffering consequences for it. I want to talk about this whole thing that women keep on bringing up as an excuse, right? How they say, men switch up, right? He was one way in the beginning of the relationship, then he's another way whenever later on in the relationship. Or men lie. Here's the thing. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Men do lie. People lie. People do lie. But here's the thing where this is how you actually make up for that, okay? The manipulation. Stop ignoring red flags. I've talked to so many women, that even these lying men, they said that, oh, you saw the red flags, you ignored it on purpose. So many women, like they knew these men were lying. They just ignore the red flag because what? Infatuation, you're attracted to the guy, whatever. They ignore red flags. A lot. I think majority of the time, women ignore red flags for whatever reason, like they were attracted to the guy, whatever. Okay. Another thing is that a lot of these women barely knew these men. They barely gave time for these men. This is the thing where why the vetting period is so important, and women do a poor job at it. A lot of women need to understand, you need to know this man in many facets of different situations, right? Know what he's like when he's sad, happy, mad, all these kind of things. Know what he's like when he's with his friends, any and all kind of situations as much as possible. But when you actually listen to a lot of these women's stories, right? When they talk about their relationships, they said, oh, we've been together a year, 2 years, and then, you got a child with him. Some of the baby mama stories I've heard, they know this man for maybe half a year, less than a year, and already have a kid with him. So this is why I don't give a whole lot of credence to when women say men lie or they switch up, because honestly, you barely gave it time to actually know this man well, right? You barely gave it time, and women don't really try to get to know men all that well. They don't really get to know men that well. Like get to know like his personality, his facets, his hobbies, his quirks. Women do not take the time or bother to really know a man that well. 2, or whatever, is that, like I said, they ignore red flags. If he's attractive enough, if he's charming enough, if he fits whatever qualities she likes, she will purposely ignore red flags. Like it will just pass it, right? If he gets angry with her, if he yells at her, she ignores it, right? Or she chalks it up to if she loves him. Plenty of women, if not most, they will ignore red flags for the men they love, right? For the men they attracted to. So really, the whole he switched up, he lied. I think it's just more excuses, because a lot of women willingly fool themselves, into staying with terrible men. So, because like I said, if you even listen to a woman, right, tell her story of her relationship, you will see the red flags in it. You will see the flaws. You will see what she did wrong. So the whole he switched up, he lied. No, most men are not good liars. Most men aren't good liars. Okay, most men are not good manipulators. They're not. So I think it's really weak and poor excuse. I want to use this video as the whole thing when women say men lie, you know, the switch up that men do, okay? On our first date, I told him he had to propose in 2 years, the 2-year anniversary, okay? He didn't propose, so she broke up with him. She ended that relationship. And then she said, you know, thank God I didn't marry that man. And then she gives you a whole bunch of reasonings why. So throughout these 2 years, she knew, she had a bunch of reasons already why she shouldn't marry him. She ignored red flags. She knew that she shouldn't have married him, or he was not a good fit, but she ignored it, and still, you know what? She was still hoping to be married, right? Get proposed to or whatever on the 2-year anniversary. This is the thing where you barely knew him. 2 years, and I don't think that's, you know, good enough, but she knew him enough that he was the wrong person, but yet she broke up purely because he didn't propose to her. It's like, seriously? This is why if you listen to women, you don't trust the whole he lied, the switch up. No, you knew. You knew the red flags. You saw the red flags. You just didn't care. You just didn't care. You wanted the proposal. You wanted to get married to this man. And it's like, this is why you don't listen to a lot of women's stories where, oh, he lied, he switched up. No, not really. You knew the man. You just didn't care. That's the thing. But this is what I'm saying. Honestly, when you actually listen to women's dating stories, you'll find the inconsistency. You will find the red flags that she chose to ignore. You will see that these lies that women say aren't really lies, because they're just poor, I don't know. Well, okay, maybe they're lies, but they're poor lies. I would say that. They're poor lies that you would have, you knew, right? That these were lies or whatever. You knew it. And here's the thing where, in saying that she stayed with him, hoping that he'll you know, marry her. In 2 years, you would still barely know the man. You would still barely know the man. Okay? And fine, let's say that. You still went 2 years. Yet, you would still marry him because regardless of all the red flags you saw. That's the thing where, and then women like this, right? Women like this married this man that she knew was a red flag. She knew was a terrible man in her eyes. Yet she would still marry him. And then what? Maybe divorce him a year, 2 years later, or whatever, how many years later, saying he switched up, saying he was a liar, saying this, like saying like he was a terrible man. Girl, you knew it. You knew what type of man he was. You chose to stay with him. Again, this is why I find it stupid with a lot of women's excuses. Lack of accountability. It's the lack of accountability. You knew that this man was terrible. You knew this man had red flags that you didn't agree with. You just chose to ignore it. I honestly don't believe in the switch up. It's just that a lot of women ignore said red flag. Like, let's say if he was, like, when you married him, he's abusive. I believe before you married him, he had anger issues. He sometimes, I don't know, he got mad at other people easily. Whatever, there were signs. In my personal opinion, I believe very few people truly do like a 180. Right? They were one way beginning of the relationship, and then they were completely different. I don't know, years after our relationship, right? Years, I mean, down the road during the relationship, like when you get married and stuff. I rarely believe that is true. One, I believe that that you saw the signs, right? You saw the signs that would lead to, let's say, anger issues, abusive, whatever. You saw the signs. Okay, so poor liar, whatever. You saw the signs of what he is. Two, I honestly believe that, okay, maybe he does lie, but you saw the truth. You saw the truth, and you chose to ignore them. That's the thing. I believe that's the true case. Not that he did a 180. It's just that the honeymoon phase of a relationship, the veil that the honeymoon phase of the relationship gives you, it's been off. So now you saw the terrible person already. You just choose to ignore it. You're in so deep, you just choose to continue.
I recently was going on dates with a man, and nice guy, good guy, treated me well. But once I realized that he was not my husband, because I'm only looking for husband energy at the moment, I ended things with him, and I sent him a text, because like it wasn't that serious, you know, I didn't feel like I needed to do it in person. Anyways, I sent him a text, told him that I didn't see it going any further, and he agreed. He said that he didn't think that he could make me happy. And while I appreciate that, it was a very kind response, he didn't even try. Even try and say that he like wanted to change, that he wanted to like whatever. Like, I can be manipulated. I will listen to you. You didn't even.
I gotta say, that is one of my most favorite clips a woman have ever made. Okay, just because it encompasses so much. In that one clip, that short clip, it encompasses so much about women. Husband energy. What the hell is that? Okay. It's like the ambiguity of women, right? The confusion that women implement, right? The women that instill in men, right? The confusion is husband energy. Okay, and then the whole thing, the wanting men to change, right? Not dating men for who they are, not I don't know, being interested and attracted to men for who they are, and what is it? Wanting and being very easily manipulated, right? Wanting to be manipulated. This is a kind of like a quote I love so much. when you lie, women buy. Women love lies. This is why one of the most amazing ability, I think, could maybe above looks and money, charm. Charm. I.e. lying and manipulation, right? Being able to talk a good game. I think even if an ugly man, fat man, good looking man, if he has charm, i.e. he knows what to say, he's funny, whatever, he has charm, he can get a lot of women. He can get, like, maybe any kind of woman. And women love that. Women are so easily, okay, falling for charm. I.e. just a good talking game, right? That's why the players, the bad boys, the pookies, they're good at that. They're good at that. So women love the liars, right? Women love the talkers, you know. Women desire liars, in my personal opinion, because, again, liars talk a great game. Liars talk a great game, and women love that, okay? And they kind of, do something that I always believe women love, is women are addicted to the dopamine effect of high and lows of emotions, right? They love drama. Women love drama. So these type of men who can manipulate, who can lie, who, you know, women want to change, these guys can, you know, give women drama. So they love it, right? And they love, you know, they love men that's able to manipulate. They want men to be, I think, subconsciously, if not all women, a good amount of women want manipulators. They want those, because honestly, manipulators are a surefire sign that he can be popular. He can get women. So it's an indicator that, you know what, he's maybe pre-selected because he has that good ability. So yeah, I love that clip because it just encompasses all in one package, right? All in one clip, women. That is women. I also want to talk about the part where treated her well, but he knows he can't treat her well enough. High expectations. Always want perfection. Always want, you know, the best, the next best thing. You know, it's never good enough. So that's also something I want to, again, it's like that one clip. You can, if you're, you know, a therapist or what is it, a psychiatrist, or someone who studies, right, human mind, even women, it's very fascinating. That one clip encompasses so much about women. That's why I thought it was interesting. I love the study of humans, right? I do. Because I like to, I'm a people watcher, right? So I like to really, you know, dissect people, right? In a psychological way. So I thought that was interesting.
Into doing 50-50 with anybody. If that's the case, I can be by myself. So I'm not doing 50-50. If you can't do that, then keep it moving. And I have a daughter, so we come together. So if you don't feel like you can help out with me and my kid, then we don't have anything to talk about.
You know, a lot of men are going to tell you, what do you bring? Since you bring your daughter, what are you going to add to the relationship?
I'm adding myself. I don't have anything to bring to a table, okay? I am the table.
One clip literally it sums it all. Why men are tired of dating. Why men are not committing. Why men are just using women for their body. Literally one clip. Because all she brings to the table, i.e. the relationship, is her. That's it. Just her body. Just being her body. Just being who she is. Someone with baggage, with a child, right? With two mouths to feed. Someone that brings responsibility. Literally showing you why, this is the example. This is the pure example why men are tired. Why dating sucks for men. Okay? Because of your mistake. Right? Because of your mistake, you are bringing twice the responsibility onto the next man. Because of your mistakes. Now, a man has to provide for you and the child of another man. Yes, this is why men love dating. This is why men don't commit. This is why, right? That is why men don't commit. And this is why the men that she's attracted to, the men that she can attract, the men that, you know, dates her or whatever, use her for her body and then dip. That is why. This is the thing a lot of women don't understand. Oh, why do these men never want to commit? Why do these men Well, because what's worth committing to? This is the thing where a lot of women don't understand. Women have so much standards, right? So a list of standards and preferences. A man fits it, okay? But what does that man want? Women don't care. Women don't care. All they give that man is their body. So guess what? That man that fits your standards, he will use your body until he's bored of it, until he's tired of it. Then he dips. Because you don't care what it takes to get him, right? What it takes to keep him. You only care what he does for you. What it takes for him to keep you. That's all you care about. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Can I get a girl's attention? Cover my tab. You get my tab, that means you gonna cover whatever it was that I was gonna pay for anyway. And then invite me for a drink. Because more oftentimes than not, men invite you for a drink and expect you and your time for compensation. Now I'm more inclined to give you my time. So that's how that works.
You know, this is a thing where I said this before, how the dating market is currently. It is the result of women's actions and words, and women don't realize it. You hear women constantly say, "Why is dating seems like transactional?" It's because of you. It's because of you. You make it transactional. Okay? You want to trade his money for your time, as in his time is meaningless to you, but his money is equal to your time. That's the thing where he's paying for you. He's paying for your time. Instead of, you know what, you're single, he's single, why not try to get to know each other and see if something happens? No, you don't care. He has to pay for your time so you can give him a chance to change your mind into maybe being interested in you. Women have made dating how it is, i.e., one of the things is transactional. In my personal opinion, it is 90 to maybe 100% women's fault how dating is currently. And this is women's dating advice. It always is, it does nothing for a man. It does nothing for a man. And in my personal opinion, it's a woman's way to boost her own ego. Because here's the thing. He pays for your time, and then what? There's no guarantee that you'll give him anything. A relationship, another date? No. So he paid for your time, so you just... What? It's like, women make it seem like these are strangers, right? You barely know each other. So it's like sparks don't happen that easily, right? So I think women are just, they do things, they say things, it's like just so they can use a man. One, use a man for whatever resources she can get from him, and use him for an ego booster. Because many men can, say it. Plenty of times they have paid for women's drinks, paid for things for women, and then she ghosts him, she doesn't care, she moves on. This is the thing where men find it being pointless. Pay for your tab, and then what? How many times women say, what is that about? A man's not owed anything from a woman. Cool. But you don't see that if a man uses his hard-earned resources, he feels a bit, this is the thing where I find women kind of disingenuous or play ignorant. Because you can't understand if someone pays for something, anything, okay? Man or woman pays for something. They feel entitled to it. They feel like they're owed something. They feel like they bought it, okay? It's just part of the capitalistic mindset. And yet women can't critically think that. They can't understand that. Oh, why does he think that he owes my, a kiss, a hug, another date, my phone number, so on and so on? Well, because he paid for it. He paid for it. A lot of times, your time isn't worth the money, so we try to get some more. This is the thing where women also don't realize they're putting themselves into, I don't know if I say dangerous situations, but bad situations where you want this man to pay for your whatever, drinks, food, your tab, and then you don't think that he's going to expect something in return, and you think your time is enough. Women play a dangerous game.
I'm genuinely starting to get concerned. Are there any decent men out there still? Has my ship sailed? Is everybody just married or engaged or have kids? I wanted to get married when I was 24. Thank God I didn't. But now I'm just should I have? Did I miss the memo? Was I supposed to just stay in church and find myself a decent church boy? I'm not gonna panic.
This is something that if I can ever, right, reach the consciousness of a woman, right, just maybe change a woman's mind. One thing I want to change a woman's mind is that, to understand this, women constantly say, are there good men out there? Are there decent men out there? Are there men that, are there monogamous men out there? Are there men that don't want to lie, that don't cheat? Are there men that would want to marry you? Are there men that would be good fathers, good husbands, so on and so on? Are there men out there? Are they all taken? This is the thing where if women can change how they view that kind of ideology, please do. This is what I think women should actually change it to. Are there men I'm attracted to, plus that? Okay, plus whatever, okay? Are there men that I'm attracted to and they're good men? Are there men that I'm attracted to and they're monogamous, so on and so on? Because this is the thing where I've come to realize that women are, they purposely want to be vague. Because if women be serious, if women are blunt, right? If women will be blunt, it will show them that they are actually very superficial. Women are very superficial. And if they're blunt, they're going to have to show how superficial they are. So I believe this is the problem. Women are having a problem finding men they're attracted to. I think dating statistics have shown it perfectly. Okay? On apps, there are plenty of men that may fit your qualifications, at least inside, right? The type of person he is. Yet, dating apps have shown that women are not attracted to many men. Only the top 20% of men. So, dating apps have shown that women find most men unattractive. Most men. It's just a dating fact. And you see it on this app too, where women constantly say there's so many ugly men out there. All these ugly men with baddies and all. Women find a lot of men, most men, ugly, in my opinion. Women have, I believe, and probably it's this change of times where now women they don't care much or not as much with money. They still do care a lot about money. But now women, since they make money, women care about everything now, especially looks. So women are deeply focused on superficial traits, how he looks, how tall he is, so on and so on. So this is the thing where I'd rather women be blunt, right? I'd rather women be blunt because then it just shows you that what type of person you are, right? Shows you that you're not beating around the bush, because it is disingenuous to say, oh, are there no good men out there? There are fucking plenty. Plenty. Are there no decent men out there? Plenty. Are there no men that want to get married, be good husbands, be good fathers? There are plenty. The problem is there are not enough men that you find attractive. That is the problem.